Okay, I got a custom request for a pendant for a lady, and she loved frogs, and her husband wanted me to do her something, and so I decided to do a frog on a lily pad, and I wanted to use a little bit of Repoussé, which is where you use tools to flatten out and add texture and dimension to a project. And so I drew a little lily pad on some 16 gauge sheet silver, and now I'm cutting it out here, and this is a long process because you have to go through all of the all the steps over and over and over and over. And here I'm sawing out the shape of the little lily pad. If only it went that fast in real life. Holy cow, every time I see one of those, I'm like, ooh, if it only went that fast. And now that I have the shape cut out, I am using my torch to anneal the silver, which helps it to soften. So that as I start doing Repoussé and some of the things to shape it and all of that, it makes it easier. Each time you work hard in your silver, then you have to go back in and anneal your silver so that it doesn't crack and break because it gets too work hardened. So I'm annealing the little lily pad here, and now I'm using my torch to come in and add the little veins that are in the lily pad, because I'm going to fuse those together on there so that I can start adding those layers of dimension. And sometimes when you do these, you have this idea that it's going to go this way, but it doesn't always work that way. These little things tend to have a mind of their own, and when you're using this little teeny torch tip, it gets really hot in a really focused area. But I'm adding in those little veins on the lily pad so that it looks real life. I think that's still what I'm doing here. I'm going in more, so I'll torch it and then I quench it and cool it down and come back in and make sure that everything is the way that I want it to be. But it's going to change too, because I'm going to be beating it with my Repoussé tools, and that always scares the crap out of me when I get so close that I burn out my torch. Okay, so now I'm coming in with a burr bit that will remove some of the metal and make it so that my veins look more real, not like they're just laying on top. I want to remove some of the silver so that it's a little bit flatter, so that it just kind of melts better down into the silver. And so these little buggers too, man, they can jump. There is such a learning curve with all of the different things that you use in silver that you have to be pretty careful. So I often, in all my videos, you'll see band-aids on my fingers, because never fail, I always end up bloody somehow. Whether it's just from sanding my fingers down to this jumps and catches into my finger, or I still hammer my fingers. Never fail. It's just kind of the what's the word I want? It just happens. So again, I'm in here with this little burr bit. I probably have on like 3 pairs of readers when I'm doing this, because none of mine are strong enough. Okay, so this is Repoussé. I am not very good at it. I had like a 20-minute instructions on how to do Repoussé. And you use these little tools that go in and flatten and move and shape the metal. And it's so that the veins start to bleed into the thing, and it gives it that more real look. So see how it's kind of curved now. It's a concave, and now I'm going to go in with a tinier little burr bit here, and I'm adding even more little veins. I'm kind of engraving them into the background, so it gives it just some more dimension. It's taken shape though. Now I'm gonna pick solder and add a jump ring to the top of the lily pad there so that it can hang. It's actually such a fun thing because, you know, when you're doing a project, it does kind of take on a life of its own, and you just never know. You never know what's going to happen for sure. You hope for the best. Now the jump ring's on, and I'm going to place the little frog. This was a little cast sterling silver frog. On here as well, I did some little silver balls on there to kind of look like water droplets. They'll be hard to see until you get to the very end, but they're kind of to the left of the frog. And then I made a little tiny spot to put a little diamond. So there's some little water droplets that are silver balls on a diamond. But there I'm adding the frog to the pendant. I thought about making a loop on him and making him movable on there, but it just didn't work the way that I wanted it to. It didn't feel right. So I just kind of let the piece tell me, you know, what it's willing to do and what it's not, because sometimes, again, they have a mind of their own. It never gets old for me, the process of watching the silver, watching things melt. So I love using my torch and creating, and it's such a fun part. Now I'm going in and I'm patinaing, because the patina will really show off all of that engraving and repoussé and the depth that's in the whole piece. You can see there on the left the little silver balls and where the diamond's gonna go. It made the piece so cute. See the little diamond there, and it's in I set it in tube setting, and then the little water droplets, and then it's all done. It's so cute. It turned out so fun. It was absolutely a little treasure to make this piece. So fun.